Hello all and welcome to the Ero Ps F2 Division Round 3. We are here at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya in Spain for the Spanish Grand Prix. A track that most drivers should be aware of, as they had to do the quali to sign up for this season, which you can still do. Mid-season sign-ups are open for Ero, both on the PS and PC division. So let me just wait if... It seems like it's bone dry here in Spain. Obviously the divisions down below did encounter the Spanish track at its wet, when it was wet. So I'm guessing these drivers are hoping it will stay dry. Let's just wait for the first few cars to come out. We are seeing some new faces this season, with Jericho Balgos and Liam Cross deciding to come out of the hiatus to race. And I think that... Oh, and Matt Hart as well, also coming out of that hiatus, I think. As we do have Cameron Don now. Coming out of the pit lane. That is him now. Ready. As the first two mugs come out of Jericho Balgos and Cameron Don. Cameron Don getting a P3 and a P2 in Bahrain and Japan, hoping he can make that one step further to the top step of the podium here in Spain. I think he is leading the Drivers' Championship. So it just proves that consistency is key. So I'll just give you the UI and I'll give you the telemetry and the lap data. So I'll just get back up to Cameron Don, there we go. He will be the first driver we watch for tonight's qualifying. Pole time, it's going to be in the 16s, I think. I think it's going to be a 16-7, 16-8, 16-7. Hopefully these drivers can live up to it, as Cameron Don is coming through the last chicane in Sector 3. Starting his lap in that silver mark, opening with the RS, powering down towards one of the longest straights on the calendar, and then heading towards turn 1, braking just up to the grey bump, hitting turn 1 nicely, and turn 2 making sure he doesn't touch the solid curbs, then probably going to keep it flat out through this turn 3, making sure he doesn't spin, keeping the car nice. Then into this long right-hander, making sure it doesn't go wide and onto the gravel trap. Then heading quickly to turn to the next corner, the left-hander taking some of the curb, making sure it doesn't hit the sausage curb. Runs wide on exit. Then into the first of the tricky chicanes. Making sure he doesn't hit that yellow sausage curb on the side, otherwise it's an automatic spin. Then heading towards that tricky right-hander, which is tough to keep it flat out. Heading towards the start of Sector 3, braking just when the gravel trap ends. Taking a curb there on entry and then running out wide for exit to then cut in on the entry to his corner. Short shifting up, going wide on the exit, then it's to the tricky final chicane. That ruins any sort of momentum on this track in my opinion. Keeping it nice and tight as Cameron Don coming around the final corner now. What lap time will it be? It will be a 17 flat straight away. Next will be his teammate of Jericho Balgos. What can he do? It's a 16-7 straight away. There goes my prediction. Next will be Loki. Old Chibs coming across the line. Hadn't had the greatest start to the season, and he goes net P3, almost a 1.1 seconds off of Jericho Balgos' time. Next will be Libena with an 18.4. Then it'll be Theo Smith with a 17.4. Next will be Astros, Connor Ryan with 17.5. Then it'll be the Ferrari of Vilzi who invalidated. Then it'll be Neil Cendric, one of the new drivers, does a 17.6. Then Trinek messes up his lap time, does a 19.1, but he's starting his lap time again. Then it'll be Lucas who goes P3 with 17.4. Then it will be Liam Cross, coming around the final corner now in the Aston Martin, starting his lap time. We will watch him just to get that extra pressure for him. So if he does mess up, it will be on stream. heading towards turn 1, using all of the curb on the entry and goes so wide. I mean, he has to take a lot more curb on entry at turn 2, lifting off a lot through a right-hander. What split will it be? It's a 22.3 split. I think of sub 9, 21.9 is a good split. 21.8, I think, from my memory. He's now heading through, taking it to 3rd gear. He does actually use low gears. Does Liam Cross heading to? He does a massive lift there. Usually it's just a little dab off the throttle, but lifted off so much as now Ville couldn't make it last week's race. Goes into P3 the 17.3. What can Liam do? Coming up to the start of the final chicane, taking it in 3rd gear. And 2nd, then back up to 3rd, then into 4th, short-circuiting his way through that chicane, around the final corner now. Where does this lap time put Liam Cross? 16, 17, 18, 18.1, he goes P11. Next will be Robson. That's at his first lap. Let's see what the split's going to be. It's going to be a 51.5 split. I think it's a 10th off Liam from memory. Now heading round the final sector, keeping it in 5th gear. Using all of that curb on entry, misses the apex. Down into 4th, keeping it in 4th, where Liam likes a short shift from 2nd up to 4th. Heading around the final corner, 15, 16, 17, 17, 8 puts in P8. As I think that would be Vilsey going into the pit lane. And then Trinek also improves to 17.9. As I think he's out of fuel. So I am going to quickly see the splits. 22-1, 29-2, 28, 25-4, 22-2, 29-2, 22-1, 22 flat, 22-2. Okay, so people are yet to crack the 21s yet in the 1st sector. As we are just waiting for the first car to come out, which I think will be, yes it will be, Neil Sendrick. His debut race actually, in F2. He is a reserve driver, part of TTL eSport team. As you will keep on board with him, I think, as Robson does heading to the pit lane. There we go. Because now also Jericho Balgos comes out on a lap, on his out lap. So I think we will stay on board with Neil Shendrick, as he's the only car on track at the minute who's closest to starting his lap. He just needs to find, he needs to find 2 tenths to get, he needs to find 2 tenths to get P6, or like a tenth and a bit to get P6, and then maybe an extra half a tenth to get P4. That's how close the grid is. Like even P8 to P11 is split by a tenth and a half. Then P3 to P6, P7 even, is split by 3 tenths. As Neil Shendrick will try to change that as he's coming through the chicane. Turning on his ERS battery now, deploying it down this straight, opening the DRS now to start his lap time in the McLaren. As there is a Red Bull ahead, slowing down to not block him. There's now Neil Sendrick down to turn 1, taking it in 5th gear. Missing actually the apex of turn 2. Has a little bit of a wobble bill on the entry of turn 3. That's going to cost him some time. And that may be forced him to be down on this lap time. Let's see. 22.2, no, he's still up slightly, so that seems to be like he was up before that. Now then, Neil's taking it into 4th, using a lot of the exit, and using the lot of the exit. Oh, yeah, he keeps it actually very nicely, as I think that was Jericho Balgos maybe making a mistake. I'm not sure though, don't quote me on that, as he now powers down towards the final sector. He's 2 tenths, 2 and a bit. He's almost just under 3 tenths down is what I meant. 2.85 will be a 4:05, which means he'll put P4. He needs to find a little bit more time, but I think he may have lost a bit down on that entry. He needs to find some more time now on the chicane, which I don't know if he does. Has he kept the time up? Let's see. Coming around the final corner, enabling DRS now. 16, 17, 17.4. He lost a little bit of time, but still puts in P5. We'll go on to Jericho Balgos, who's 7 seconds down. He did make a mistake. However, Cameron Don is half a tenth up. It's not enough, but he needs to find another 3 attempts in this second sector. Has he done that, the Northern Irishman? No, he hasn't. It's a 10th and a half, but apparently he's gone purple. Needs to find another 10th and a half in this final corner to pip his Northern Irish counterpart in the Mercedes. So down into third, deciding not to short chip up. Powering down through the final corner. Is it enough? Has he gained that 10th and a half needed to go pole? 16. No, it hasn't. He's lost the time. He's still improved though. Next will be Vilzi, who's a little bit down. Next, I think, will be Liam. Yes, it will be Liam starting his lap. Then it'll be Libenau also starting his lap. What about Master Hart? Master Hart's on the end of his lap. What can the Dutch driver do? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It'll be a 17.5. He goes P8. Next will be the Alpine of Chibs, who's just starting his lap. Then it will be Snoken, who has invalidated. Then it'll be Robson. It'll be Robson's teammate Theo Smith, who's also starting his lap. Next will be Trinek, who's also starting his lap. People are starting their laps here thick and fast. There's Jericho. Jericho's 2 temps up. This could be a 0.4 here for the Northern Irishman. He missed the first 2 rounds, so he's already about... he's already lost crucial points, so he needs to make up. He's made a mistake. Yeah, he went wide and made a mistake. There was going to be a good lap time by him as well. Then we'll go to cross Liam, who's slightly up. He's apparently purple, but he's gone so wide. You think you go to France, where he's going. Libenau does not make the same mistake, though. He needs to find 3 attempts to gain on Liam Cross through the final chicane, taking it into third. But into second, short shifting up. Yeah, short shifting up to third. For the second part, letting the car run out into fourth. Let's see, what time will it be? It'll be a 17.7. He goes P10. Next will be the Williams of Rob Matz going into the pit lane. Yeah. Then it'll be the Alpine of Loki Chibs. It's a 17.3. He goes P3 provisionally. Next will be Snoken, trying to set a representable lap time, which he does. 15, 16, 17, 17.8. He goes P12. Next will be the Haas of Trinek. He's half a second up. This will be a P17.4 if he hasn't found any more time. It'll be a 17.4, like I said. It goes P9. Next will be Susie, who's just starting his lap. Next will be Astros, who's a 10th up, but he's going to go into the pit lane. Then next will be a Robson, who also goes into the pit lane. Oh, excuse me. That's Libenau not on a lap. No, it's not. So we'll go back to Trinek. No, not to Trinek. Susie, that's the guy, Susie. Has he got enough fuel? Let's see, what's the split going to be? He's slightly up. He needs to find more time though. It won't be enough to pit P7 at this moment in time. Taking it into third, shorting it up to fourth, letting the car go right. Lucky to not invalidate there. Now heading through this chicane, taking it in fifth, missing the apex entirely, but using all of it on the exit. And also lifting off just a slight bit and not using any of the apex there. Let's see, Susie now. What will it be? It's just under a 10th and a half up. It'll be a 3.44 at the moment. It'll only go P6. As we are now down to under 5 minutes of quali remaining. Down into fourth then for Susie, starting this final chicane into third, actually taking it very nicely, but he's going into the pit lane. I think he realised he wouldn't have enough time to set a lap after this lap, so he's gonna call it early, or he wasn't happy with it. as we are waiting for the drivers to come out of the pit lane, as I think, as you can see, in the middle right hand corner is what Cameron Dunn is doing, but it's also what Susie's doing? No, Robson, sorry, Robson is doing. So we will watch Robson first, as he's the first car out. As we are now down to the last 2 minutes of qualifying, as Matt Terhart has left the session, so I will invite him quickly. If you just bear with me 1 second. So I'm trying to find him now. There he is. And it's perfect timing actually, as Robson is starting his lap time. This will be the final lap if he doesn't mess it up. Heading into turn 1, taking it in 5th. Taking a lot of curb as well for the top part of turn 2. Now into turn 3. Not letting off. And keeping a very nice and tight line. Let's see, will he be up? He is up by just over half a tenth. That is what is needed to get P4 at this moment in time, but it's not enough to challenge for pole or P2 or P3. As there is a driver ahead of the McLaren, he's got out of his way pretty nicely there. Does that put off Robson? No. Into 7th, lifting off a little bit, having a bit of a wobble on the exit. Has that lost him any time? Yes, it has, just slightly, but he's still over half a tenth up though. As we're down to the last minute of qualifying. As I'm afraid that left of the session has costed Matt Terhart of another lap, so he can start no higher than P11. As Robson now coming around the final chicane and around the final corner. Has he found any more time in this final sector? 15, 16, 17, 17.1. He's gone P3 provisionally. Board with Joker Balgos, he's a 10th up currently. As all Cameron's have made a mistake, that's surely yet that is qualifying over. That's qualifying over for the Northern Irishman in the second Merc of the first Merc of Joker Balgos. Can he find any more time for a 0.5? We know it's in there. Due to the last run, we know it's in there. He just needs to deliver now. Let's see, Balgos, 59, 50, 51 flat. He's 3 tenths up. So you go final sector, take it in 4th. Taking it in 4th for the first part. Going down to 3rd and shortening up to 4th. That's been a tidy middle sector. Is it enough for a low 16, 15, 16, 16.5? He's found 2 tenths, as that's a Rebel. As Rebel Lucas cannot improve. Next will be the Ferrari of Libanow. Libanow goes up to P10 with a 17.4. Next will be Astros, who goes up to P4 with a 17 flat. Next will be Susie. He's slightly up, but it won't be enough to gain any more time. Coming around the final corner now, Susie. 17.5, he hasn't improved. Next will be the McLaren of Neil Schindrick, who goes up to P2 with a 16.8. Trineck follows him into P3. The last person on track will be Loki Chips, so he's 7 tenths down, and that is qualifying over in F2 at the Spanish Grand Prix. As we have Jericho Balgos taking pole position in his first race in Season 9 with Neil Schindrick in his debut race P2. Then we have Trinek in P3, Snoken in P4 and Cameron Dunn in P5. His second Mercury couldn't get his lap time in and it's costed him dearly. Connor Ryan in P6, Robson P7, Vilsey P8, Loki Chips P9 and Lucas P10 with Theo Smith, Libanow, Masterheart, Cross Liam rounding out the grid for today's race. As it is a bit cloudy heading into at the start of this race, as it NSC did a 16.5, a 16.5. Neil Schindrick did a 16.8 as well. As we are just waiting for the drivers to select their strategy. As we are now counting down to the last 25 seconds of them doing that. I have no idea if there is formation lap or not, so this is going to be a fun start. As let's see, is there going to be a formation lap? There is not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And it's lights out, and the way we go for the Spanish Grand Prix. It looks like Joko gets a good start with Neil Shaw getting wheel spin off the line. Will that cost him? No, but Sundogs Reinach. As there goes Cameron Don in the second Merc, taking P2 with Snoken P3. Is there going to be any carnage at the turn one? Neil Shaw going to go around the outside of Snoken. He's going to get the inside line for the next bit, and he's going to make it stick. And now Snoken's under attack from Trinek in P5. As there is an Alfa Romeo trying to go around the outside into turn 3. The Alpine will have the inside line and will make stick. Lucas now gets ahead of Matt. Matt is battling with Lucas. Robson now is battling with Prime Vilsu. Loki Chips defending Vilsu on the inside line. He's going to go around the outside, maybe. Will he make it stick? No, he cannot make it stick. As we will check for tyres. So Cameron Dunn on the medium compound tyres, along with Matt and Libanow, but everyone else is on the hard compound tyres. As I move up for the lead, Loki Chips overtakes his teammate Ashcroft for P6. Maybe better team orders. Oh, that's a moment by Neil Schindrick. That's going to allow Snoken to go around the outside. They're going to be battling as if Snoken is probably forced off the track there. As Trinek now goes around the outside and he gains position. So if Snoken trying to gain one, he's actually lost one instead. So at the end of lap 1, Jericho Balgos takes the lead over Cameron Don in P2 with Neil Schindrick P3, Trinek P4, Snoken P5, but he's under battle. He's under from Loki Chips, who keeps the position. Connor Ryan P7, Villa P8, Robson P9, Mats P10, Lucas P11. Libanow, he's gone. That's rear wing damage for him. Libanow is now 14th, and Matt has done the same thing. So that's almost the end of their races, because I believe that is rear wing damage for both of them. Further up ahead, Cameron Dunn has just about got within the second window to Jericho Balgos. And it's now 1.7 between Cameron Dunn and Neil Schindrick. So it looks like it's going to be a battle for P2. As now Relay gets ahead of Connor Ryan for P7. Connor Ryan dropping like a fly here. As it now is the start of lap 3. Cameron Dunn setting the provisional fastest lap of the race with a 20.9. DRS will now be enabled. And Cameron Dunn has used half of his battery, whilst Jericho Balgos has used less. Neil Strindrix will also use half his battery. Trinek is on 67%. So everyone is around 0.5%, with Vola being at 30%. He's trying his hardest to trying to get ahead of Loki Chips. And Astros for 2 Alpines. El Plan. Conor Ryan on 40%. Robson with the highest with 90. Oh no, I take that back. Lucas was with the highest with 95%. Then it's Liam with 76%. Susie on 76% as well. And Matt has pitted for a set of the hard compound tyres. But Cameron Dunn does not have DRS for that main straight, for that little straight. He may get some DRS on the main straight if he has a good sector 3 on the medium compound tyres. As there's a yellow flag in sector 3, it's for Lucas. He's made a mistake and he's spun. Is that damage for the Red Bull driver? No, it isn't. But has Cameron Dunn does have DRS. That is crucial for this race. And now Joker's at the fastest lap of the Grand Prix with a 20.7. But now Trinek is gaining and he is going to overtake Shindra for P3. What about Loki? Loki is defending from Vilzu. Vilzu's going to go around the outside into turn 1. Loki defending the inside. Vilzu will have the inside of his next bit. He had to take the curve there, as they're going to be side by side through turn 3. Vilzu staying on the outside line. I think Chips is just about ahead, and I think he'll just about keep the position. Biville is not giving this one up. He's still on the outside. He's going to have the inside of his next bit, and he's almost fully ahead, and he is fully ahead of the Alpine. That's a great little battle between the two drivers. Well given by both of these two. Now Cameron Dunn is out of the DRS for this little straight again. It seems like sector 2 is Cameron Dunn's weakness. It's even though Hearts lost it again. As I am yawning all over the place. Oh, but here comes Conor Ryan. That is a bad move, and that's cost both Alpine drivers. As Robson now is got ahead of one. Can he get ahead of the other? No, that is surely going to be reported by Chips. There's another yellow flag. It's for Liam. Liam's done a thing and he's spun. Does he have a front wing? I don't think he has a front wing. He does not have a front wing. Liam, what have you done? Liam has done Liam things, and he's got himself no front wing. Oh, okay, right, Liam, that's naughty of you, Liam. No, that's not allowed, mate. Sorry, that's going to be a penalty. But further ahead, Cameron Dunn now within 7/10. He managed to get DRS in sector 3, and Neil Stindrick has lost DRS to Trinek. As Snoken, sorry, has also lost DRS to Neil Stindrick. Vilzu as well. So everyone out of the DRS zone apart from Robson, who did get ahead of Lukey Chips whilst we were looking at Liam Cross doing Liam Cross things. Lebanon's retired in the pit lane, and there goes Astros. Astros has spun. We'll head back onto Loki Chips. Will he go for the move on this little straight, or will he wait till sector 3? Seems like he will wait, and he will. But Trinek is just about going. He'll need to be in it when they cross the detection point. Oh, there goes Trinek. Trinek's lost it, and that is him out of the race. Will that be a safety car? It is. It's the full safety car, and it's only been 5 laps. That's a godsend for Neil Stindrick, who can now catch up to the back of Cameron Dunn. Please give me a minute. As I am back, I wonder if anyone is going to pit during this safety car. Let's see, does Jericho Balgos on the hard compound tyres pit? I don't think he does. What about Cameron Dunn? Cameron Dunn doesn't, Neil Shendrick doesn't, Snowken doesn't, Vilsey doesn't, Robson does. He does pit. What about Loki? Loki follows him in. What about Theo Smith? That's not a correct entry of the pit lane, Theo Smith. What about Lucas? Lucas does not pit. Astros does not pit. And I assume Matt or Liam will not pit. As it's been 5-7 laps and we're already under the safety car. I don't think the safety car will be in this lap. I think it will be in next lap. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I had to yawn again. Jesus Christ, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm gonna. What do I blame? I think I blame. Nah, I'm not gonna blame the race. The race will be fine. Right then. When does the safety car come in? That is the question on everyone's lips. Or mostly my lips. The safety car is in this lap. So it's Jericho Balgos' job to pack the field up and make sure and only can go when the safety car returns into the pit lane, which is exactly what he's doing. It's a Merc 1-2 at this moment in time. Will that change? There's been very few pit stops. Only Robson, Chibs, Susie have pitted for a new set medium combat tyres. They will need to pit towards the end of this race again, because those tyres will not go to the end. I think Cameron Dunn's got. I think Jericho Balgos has gone now, and he has gone now. Has I caught anyone out? I don't believe it has. But actually, no, tell a lie. It's caught Lucas out. It's caught Lucas out massively, and Rob Summer waits to overtake him as soon as he possibly can, as people are now weaving to warm up their tyres. Heading into turn 1, I don't think there's any moves going to be had. Is there? No, there isn't. but Neil Shendrick is staying within the DRS to Cameron Don for now, as Snowcon's already out of the DRS to Neil Shendrick. He's had a good start of the lap so far. And then Vilsey will need to get past him as soon as he possibly can. Right then. As everyone's already out of DRS zone, but someone who isn't out of the DRS zone is Robson. He's staying within that 2/10 mark to Lucas. As Lucas has gone a bit wide. Robson, without allowing Robson to go for a move, I don't think it will. No, it won't. Oh god, it's Liver now has now left the session after retiring in the pit lane. Is now that mistake there by Lucas. If there was DRS, would have been capitalised by Robson, but there isn't. He has to wait another lap. As everyone is just out of each other's second. Marcus Trinek has also left the session. It's now Vilzu. As now DRS is now enabled, is Vilsu got enough in the tank to go for it now? Before the DRS he's not gaining enough, he won't go for the move. Robson won't go for the move either. As Cameron Owen needs to find another 2 tenths to even think about getting DRS, and Neil Shendrick will need to find another 3 tenths. As there's been a move further behind. Theo Smith is just overtaking Matt Hart at P10. Matt Hart is going to try and keep it around the outside, but he's backed out of it. And now I think this may be the first move up into P4, I think, for Ville. Or will he want to wait until the start-finish line? As he's looking good, it's pretty wide there on the exit of that corner. As he won't go for the move, but Lucas has got him a DRS of Ville, will help him defend from Robson. As now Ville, I think, will go for the move. He's turned it on his battery. He's gaining on the Aston Martin driver. Which way he's going to go? Outside or inside? He's going to choose the outside line, and it's not even going to be a competition during the braking point. He's already ahead of him by the time he gets to the braking point. Ville making the move stick, and he's up into P4. His next target will be Neil Shendrick for P3. As now Snowgood has to try and stay ahead of Lucas in the Red Bull. But he's used 80% of his battery just to try and overtake Snowcon. Any further battles behind? No, but Snowcon is almost already out of the DRS mark. So if he has a bad chicane, then he may be out of the DRS. And you know what? He was almost out of DRS. He was only half a tenth of it. He's lucky to keep within it. As Vilsey now is only. It's just the fastest lap of the race. That's been a great lap for Vilsey. And he's almost all inside the DRS to Neil Shendrick. Oh, it's been a mistake. That's Cameron Dunn. Cameron Dunn made a mistake through turn 3. Sorry, that completely caught me off guard. As Cameron Dunn, who had a comfortable P2, is now into P6. Is that damage for the Northern Irish driver? Let's see. I can't see his front wing as he's too close behind. I don't think it is. I think he's got away with it unscathed. He's just lost a lot of time. He's lost about 5 seconds to that spin. As now Snowken's out of the DRS to Ville. Will Snowken go for it now? No, he won't. Let's see. Can Vilsey gain 2 tenths to try and get within the DRS of Neil Shendrick? Let's see, has he got them? Has he got it? Has he got it? Has he got it? He has not got it. He lost out by thousandths or hundredths. But I think Lucas will make the move stick. As he's shooting his ERS, he's not really gaining by enough on Snowken. I don't think it'll be enough to make the move stick. No, what? He's almost gone into the back of the Aston Martin driver. But now Vilsey is within the DRS of Neil Shendrick. Right, let me see the last few laps. He has almost made a mistake there, Vilsey. 20.9, 20.8. He is gaining. He is gaining slowly but surely. On Joker Vargas, but that mistake there has costed him 3 tenths, which means he will not get the DRS and has lost some of the progress he worked so hard to get. But now Lucas within 4 tenths to Snowken. But so is Cameron Dunn. As there's a train of 1, 2, 3, 4 cars for P4. As Cam Vilsey get within the DRS to Neil Shendrick. No, he cannot. He has to wait another lap. He has to push another lap for him to get the DRS. But who's going to make a move first? Cameron Dunn on Lucas or Lucas on Snowken? We won't get our answer now. As now Vilsey is just about within the DRS, so he's being teased being under a second to Ville. As he's almost made the same mistake again, and that's also cost him 3 tenths nearly. It's that corner in the middle sector. He's lost out twice there, and that's where he's losing all of his time. But he hasn't lost as much as he did the lap before. As there's a spin for Lucas. Lucas has had a spin, and that's cost him. And now Cameron Dunn will not have DRS for now on Snowken. But Vilsey is just within a tenth of the DRS zone. The DRS. He's been so close to the DRS for the past few laps now. Has he got it? He hasn't got it yet. He still hasn't got it on Neil Shendrick. But Cameron Dunn's pitted. He's called it early on the medium combat tyres, and he's pitting for a set of hards to go to the end of the race. But I think the pit window for these first 4 drivers are not open until the next like another 4 to 5 laps, maybe. I think maybe earlier if they want to go for an undercut, because that's what Cameron's doing. He's gone for an undercut, and let's put him last so far. And it's 1.3 now off Vilsey. He's lost some of that momentum and it's cost him. As there's another yellow flag for Lucas. As Neil Shendrick did make a bit of a mistake. He did lose the front end a little bit. And that's almost cost him DRS to Vilsey. Can Vilsey get a good final chicane? He can, he does. He does get a good final chicane, but he hasn't gained any time. But Robson now, can he gain and overtake the Aston Martin and Snowcone? No, he cannot. He cannot overtake Robson on this DRS point yet. But now, Vilsey is just about within the DRS. Will he lose it at the very same corner again? Lucas has gone into the pit lane. Let's see. He has not. Lucas has retired from the session in the pit lane, which is all legal. Let's see, has Vilsey? No, Vilsey loses it. He needs a good chicane here to be within the DRS of Neil Shendrick. Has he got it? Has he got it? Has he got it? Detection point is 8. He's right on the second mark. Has he got within it? No, he hasn't got within it. But he surely will get within it, barring any huge mistakes. For the main straight. As now Liam is gaining on Matt. He will try and make a move maybe. On this main straight as Lucas has left the session. As we go back on to Vilsey, but he has made that. Oh no, he's kept it. He's kept it. Neil Shendrick made a bigger mistake than what Vilsey did. And now Vilsey has within the DRS. What about Robson? Can Robson make a move? On Snowcone, he won't. What about Liam? Liam's lost another 3 tenths to Matt in that final sector. He's not going to be able to make a move. As now Neil Shendrick is out of his ERS. He's on 11%. Cameron Don is on 32%. Let's see the leader actually interval. I think it's about 20 seconds. 18 to 20 seconds, I think. It's the pit lane without the stop, so it's 22. So he's going to come out around about 6 seconds behind Jericho, which is where he was before, where he was before the pit lane. So he hasn't really gained that much. As now, Vilsey is within 4 tenths of Neil Shendrick. He's going to surely be looking for the move on this start-finish straight. When does Jericho pit? When do these top 4 pit? Jericho doesn't decide to pit. What about Neil Shendrick and Vilsey? When do they pit? They're not going to pit yet. What about Snowcone? Does he go for an undercut? He does. Snowcone does go for the undercut. Where is he going to come out in position to Cameron Don? I think he's going to come out ahead of Cameron Don. He was about 2.9 to 3 seconds of Vilsey, sorry. Ville. We'll say he was off 3 seconds as Astros goes ahead of him, and I think he will come out ahead of Cameron Don. Let's see, here's Cameron Don. There is Snowcone just ahead of you on his screen. Going into turn 1, the green Aston Martin, British Racing Green, is ahead. And he was about 3 seconds behind. So he's about 24 seconds behind. So he needs to warm up those medium contact tyres quickly and try and make this undercut work on the top 2. As Vilsey is so close to the McLaren of Neil Shendrick, who's had a very good first race, mind, in Ero. A podium is nothing to be sad about at this moment in time. What does Jericho do? Jericho stays out. What about Neil Shendrick? When does he pit? They do not pit yet. They're going round for another lap. As Robson has to defend from Loki Chips and Susie. But here comes Vilsey down the inside of the McLaren driver, and he makes the move stick for P2. This is a very good comeback drive. So if I can find it. Starting P8. And it's going to become P2 as as I will quickly just change that to the interview and back to tyres, as Matt and Liam have pitted. They have pitted for another set of medium compound tyres. This will go to the end. They will go to the end. They're planning on undercutting the train ahead of them, which was about 4 seconds ahead of them, I think, from memory. As now Vilzu is almost 5 seconds off Jericho. Jericho is going for a Grand Slam in his first race of season 9. Shock. Jericho's dominating. Let's see Jericho. He does not decide to pit. Vilzu on the other hand does. Vilzu is going to pit. Jericho has the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far, the 20.1, just showing his pace, how good his pace is. Now, where is Snowken? Snowken is just starting sector 3. As Vilzu is not the only one pitting, Loki, Chips and Robson are also pitting. Where do they come out in relation to Matt and Liam? Vilzu's out of the pit lane now. Where is Snowken? Snowken is hit. Snowken's going around the final corner. There is Vilzu. We can't see Snowken on the screen so far. In fact, Vilzu gets ahead of Astros. In fact, Astros will be on the outside line, who have the inside for this bit. Vilzu will still be there. They're going to be side by side for turn 3. And he makes the move stick. And in fact, Loki Chips gets ahead of Snowken for now. But Snowken is not letting that stick. Snowken's going to go down the inside of Loki Chips. Will he make the move sticks? And Chips will have the inside, for the next corner. Let's see, Snowken is just about ahead, but Loki Chips sticks his nose in. He's going to be forcing him to the outside. Once again, Loki Chips will have the inside for this next corner. But Snowken will have the inside for his next 2 corners, and he's surely going to make the position stick. Loki Chips, he's going to go for the switchback maybe, but it doesn't work. Jericho doesn't pit. Neil Shendrick does. He's about 19 seconds ahead of Villeneuve, which I don't know if it's enough. No, but it doesn't matter though, because Neil Shendrick gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Horror for the McLaren driver. Where's Villeneuve? Here is Villeneuve. Neil Shendrick is still in the pit lane actually. As you can see on the mini-map, here comes the Ferrari driver of Villeneuve. They're going to be side by side almost into the corner. But Villeneuve just about gets ahead. As Matt says the first lap of the Grand Prix. So the only 2 people still needing to pit is Susie and Jericho Balgos. As Snowken needs to get... No, as... Okay, so he has... As Loki Chips is only just under 3 tenths off Snowken, as here comes Jericho Balgos into the pit lane. He does not speed into the pit lane. As now Jericho, he is going to come onto the medium compound tyres. There were thoughts if he was going to go onto the softs, but he decides mediums for the last 10 laps of his Grand Prix. Does this allow Villeneuve, who does this the fast lap of the Grand Prix now, to try and maybe jump him? No, he's going to be too far back, but I think he has gained time. Yes, he has. He's gained just over a second. Well over a second. Like a second and a half maybe. Almost, actually 2 seconds to Jericho Balgos. He just needs to find another second and a half to be within the DRS. Oh, yeah, 1.6 seconds to be within the DRS of Jericho Balgos. But he has got older tyres though. As Neil Shendrick has lost 1.6 tenths. As there's a train further back, led by Loki Chips. But Snowken's used all of his battery. And Max is only 1.9 seconds off his train, and he's taking Liam with him. It's almost going to be a train from P6 to P11. As it's 1.8, 1.9 now between Villa and Joker Balgos. Joker Balgos must have made a mistake during that final chicane. Let's see now though. Does Joker Balgos get the fast lap the Grand Prix? Susie though is leading the race due to the fact that he hasn't pitted yet. Where does he come out if he pits? About 20 seconds? He'll come out in between Loki and Snowken, I believe. Or maybe in behind Snowken and ahead of Robson. As it's... Well, now, Bilsy's lost about 7 attempts now to Joker Balgos. So I think, for the final, 9 laps of this race, Villa will need to hope that Joker Balgos makes a mistake. And I think that Joker Balgos is going to get the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. It's about a second up on his lap time, on his best lap time. Which, as we can see, is a 20.1. So he's going to be in the 18s probably. Let's see. Coming around this final chicane, will he get in within the 18s? 16, 17, 18. He does. It's an 18.4. Almost 9 attempts quicker than what Bilsy's fastest lap was. But Robson now is 3 attempts behind Snowken. He's using his DRS. He's using the ERS to... Actually, but here comes Snowken though, turning defense into attack. He's going down the inside of Loki Chips. He's going to get a switchback maybe on Loki Chips. He's going to be outside for turn 3 and turn 4. Will he able to keep it side by side with Loki Chips? No, he won't. Is he going to go for another switchback though? Yes, he is. He is going to be down the inside, but he's going to have the outside line again. But he falls in behind the Alpine driver. As Astros has gone this entire race so far without pitting. He is cooking something. He's going to go onto the softs, I believe. I think that's the strategy he's going to do. He's going to put onto the soft compound tyres. You can see the blistering on that front left. I'm surprised he hasn't got a puncture yet. As you are going to watch as Mats has connected the train. It's now a train from P6 to P11. And I see that any moves. Robson is getting close to the back of Snowken. You can see he's flashing. He sees on low on ERS, but he isn't going for the move. As Loki Chips is only 2 attempts off. Astros is going to make it. Hang on, let me get my fingers up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A 7-car train from P5 to P11. Mind you, Astros still needs to pit yet. But it's going to be handy for Loki Chips to get the DRS and protect himself from Snowken for the last 7 laps of this Grand Prix. But Loki Chips still does not have the DRS yet on his teammate. And Susie still hasn't pitted yet. I think he's going to go to soft compound tyres as well. It's now 2 attempts between Cameron Don and Robson, but the difference in ERS is about 40%. Is there going to be any sort of moves? I think Astros is going to let his teammate by, but will Snowken let him by as well? It's going to run. Oh, he's been sandwiched in. But Astros is still going to be there, and he's made contact and he's spun. Astros has spun. And that's his race ruined. I think his next attempt now is going to go for fastest lap. As now Cameron Don is under a 10 off the Alfa Romeo driver. surely he's going to try and make a move, either on this next straight or on the start-finish straight. See now that any move's going to be happening. No, there isn't. Does Susie pit? Susie still doesn't pit. We're down to the last 5 laps of this race and Susie still hasn't pitted. As Susie has gone 21 laps, there's a bit of spin! Snowken! And that's definitely a reset the track. Snowken and Robson. As I was looking at the comments, Snowken and Robson have ruined it for everyone. As Astros now does come into the pit lane for a set of softs. The question is Theo Smith in puncture territory? He's gone 21 laps on the set of medium compound tyres. To give you into context, Cameron Don did 14? No, he couldn't have done. He did 16, but 5 of those laps were during safety car. This is great tyre wear management by Theo Smith. But what does he still doesn't pit. But now that massive 7-car train for P5 is turned for P6 is turned into a 3-car train for P6. No, that is turning into a 2-car train because Mass doesn't have DRS. But Cameron Dunn goes super wide. But here comes Liam Cross. He's sitting with DRS. He's turned off his ERS though. And Shoka Bagos is gaining rapidly on Theo Smith. Heading into the last 4 laps of this race. There's no way Theo Smith doesn't get a puncture either this lap or next lap. I mean, look at those tyres! Look at the blistering! If he pits, he goes into P6. P6, P7 territory, as everyone ignore the voice crack. But no, I don't think there's any more moves happening, maybe. If I go to interval. And the only move you could possibly have is this train here for P6. And someone has had a spin. Oh, it's Liam Cross. See, I look at my phone, and the Aston Martins have imploded. I'm not looking at my phone ever again. I'm throwing it at a wall somewhere. Liam Cross has, well, he's fumbled the bag. He's bottled it. He's a wash driver and he's bottled it. It's just plain and simple, really. There's now Joker Balgos within half a second of Susie. Susie has to go to... Does he have to go to the end now? Yeah, he has to go to the end. He's losing time at every single corner to everyone. Susie's going to go to the end and he's going to get a puncture and he's going to spin. And he's just going to cry himself to sleep. As here comes Joker Balgos to regain the lead, which he does. And now Susie has to defend from Vilzu now. And I'm gonna guess that Astros... I don't know, did Astros go for the fastest lap and didn't get it? That is mad pace by Joker Balgos. Astros on a new set of softs. He's going for it again, by the way. He's going for another set of softs. To try and gain 2 tenths on him. But that's a mad pace. As he gets a 5-second penalty for his efforts only time from track now. Oh, what the hell has happened? Okay, we have a battle for the lead on our hands. Vilsu's gained about 1.7 seconds on Joko Balgos. Thanks to God knows what's happened. As Astros has now left the session, but Vilsu is surely going to go for the move. Even before he gets DRS probably. And now, he's got DRS on Jericho Balgos for the last 2 laps of this race. It's all come unglued here. The question is, can Susie hang on for his tyres? And keep ahead of Neil Shendrick? Vilsu just needs to not lose 3 tenths in these next 2 corners. Liam Cross is going for a set of swaps to try and beat Jogo Balgos' fastest lap. Vilsu still hasn't lost DRS left yet. He's close to it. He hasn't. He's kept it. He had a poor corner there. As look, he's so close to almost losing DRS on his final lap. I don't think he will. Oh, he actually might. He's gone out a second now. He hasn't lost DRS. Oh, no, he did. He did lose DRS. So that's the biggest overtaking spot gone. But here comes Neil Shendrick. He's gaining. He has no ERS. He's got no back touch with contact. Susie has made contact with Neil Shendrick. And Neil Shendrick gets the position done. But Susie on 26th lap hold. Medium compound tyres. As my game has crashed. Oh my god. You can't write this stuff.